I'm James A. Johnson. I'm a piano technician. I have been tuning pianos and selling pianos and buying pianos and fixing pianos and playing pianos for probably 35 years, 40 years.
Everybody has a different motivational factor when they come into a practice. You know, sometimes it's I can't hear my wife, sometimes it's I can't understand the TV. Mr. Johnson, you know, had several of those issues, but one of the first things I found out about him is music was very important to him. And so when you sit down with somebody like that and you start talking about options for trying to make some improvements, we really have to take into account, you know, all aspects of their life. And so for him, music was a big part of that.
I began to be unable to understand what was going on around me, and especially my wife, because she would have to, I would look to her to tell me what it was that I thought, and I would sort of lip read her, as it were. So I would just carry on the best I could and fake it.
When I saw the Venture platform come out, he was one of the first people I thought of, because hearing aids forever have been designed to help people understand speech better. And I think everybody would say that we're pretty good at that. But for somebody that spends as much time in their life, as much of his life devoted to music as Mr. Johnson, I really felt like this might be a great opportunity for him to kind of be a guinea pig for me, so that I learn a little bit more about how the hearing aids work with music, but also it might really be an advantage for him in what he does every day.
And I put these hearing aids on, and my. Best I'd ever had. It was like heaven. I could hear very well, very well. And I told my wife when I went home, I said, I've never had such hearing as this. It's as clear as anything I've ever seen.
The real world is the real test. So I sent him out the door and said, you know, I want you to go listen to music. I want you to go tune some pianos. I want you to go to church. I want you to sing. I want you to do all the things that you normally do, so that you can give us some good feedback on, you know, how this really works in the real world.
In my work as a piano technician, when I began to do the work, it was so clear and so clean and so easy for me to hear the difference in what the piano was at and what it needed to be at. It was easy. It also saved me a considerable amount of time. When these hearing aids were installed, I had a tuning that I had to go do that day, that very day, and the difference between what I had prior to and what now is in my ears is incredible.
I think I got a phone call later that day, if I remember correctly, from Mr. Johnson after he had gone to tune a piano. And I think I got a phone call the next day and the next day from him, just saying how excited he was about how much cleaner the sound was and how much different it was when he was listening to music. So to say we got a good report is probably an understatement on that.
I was blown away. I could hear stuff I hadn't heard in a long time. So I thank God for that.